Welcome.
Hello.
Today we have a new friend on here.
Yep.
We have Holly on. Oh, should I close that? I shouldn't have. Man, this time I did stuff it up. Give me 2 ticks. Be with me here.
All good?
Oh, it's gonna play as well. No, it's not good. I need to work out a better system. I'm really just running this like half-assed. But
As you
it's
do,
what it
eh?
is. Now, well, this is going to be interesting because we've never met until this point, but we have had conversations prior to now.
Yeah.
So this is cool.
Mm.
So, tell me about yourself. You told me you do car groomer.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, I guess I'm 20. Lived in pretty much the lower North Island my whole life. Lived in my one house in Kapiti for 19 years. Screw that. Went over to Wainui to mum's because it's a good dad's crap, I guess.
Yep.
And dad's like, well, you're getting kind of old, you need to, And I was like, cool, alright, let's go to mum's. And so I kind of wanted to go to the hut for quite a while, just better opportunity here, I guess. And everyone I know is all the way in Wellington in the hut, so I was always like the one guy driving all the way to Kapiti at like 2 a.m. because everyone else is over there, so and so I was like, cool. Then left my job with COVID and that, so I was like, cool, that's the only thing stopping me from moving. So I went to the hut. Then then I was like, alright, cool, let's move in with my friend, I guess. And went to upper hut, then met my partner. Then we're like, let's move in to lower hut. Moved there. Then the landlord was a bit like, and so she's like, alright, you're gone by Sunday. And we're like, well, it's like Thursday and kind of can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you got 2 weeks from Tuesday. And we're like, cool. And so I'm in Wellington now. Dealing with the traffic, and it's just can't stand that. And it's just like there's so many people not driving with their damn lights on.
Oh, really? Is that the thing now?
So often. It's just how is it so confusing just going, turn your lights on, And it's like, you wonder why you can't see, and so that's my living situation, I guess. Hobbies, I guess. I love my cars. Started that when I was like 6, I think. Fell in love with the 64 Impala was like my thing when I was little.
It's a nice car.
Yeah, and didn't really give a crap about anything else really. Then I forgot what year it was that I wanted. And I asked my mate, and I was like, it's a 64, and he was like, nah, it's a 68. And I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure it's a 64. So I ran home, Googled it after primary school, and I was like, that's pretty sick. And I was like, so there's more cars that are actually cool than just a 64 Impala. And so then I just fell in love with my American cars. Then I kind of branched off to specifically like Mopars, like Dodges and all that.
Yep.
And then I found Trade Me and everything, and I was like, there's no chance in hell I'm ever going to afford that. Like, a cheap one that nobody cares about is still like 40 grand.
Yeah.
And that's like for the lowest of the low,
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, screw that. After that, kind of got my gist around Japanese cars, but then I found all the like Supra and Skyline like fanboys, and I was like, nah, that's not me. Because I quite like having cars that no one really cares about.
Yeah.
Then from that, I kind of went on to JDM cars, which like I don't really care about like you calling your Sylvia or whatever. But JDM, like I used to get like real triggered, but like now I just who cares. But then I mean like Crestas, Glorias, stuff that you just can't get here.
Yeah.
But then it's like, hell yeah, no one likes them because no one really knows of them, so they're cheap, which I'm cool with. they're rare. No one, was like, what's that? And I like having something different. But then people started catching on to like the Chasers and JZXs and stuff, and now they're skyrocketing, and I'm like, okay, cool. Still not exactly what I want, which is like a 92 Cresta, and I've seen like 5 in New Zealand or something like that.
Yeah, they're so uncommon.
Yeah,
I actually had a cousin that had one at one point.
Yeah, but then so I only quite like that. Then I went on to Holden's. Only liked Holden's for a while because my dad had like a V8 wagon, and I was like the cockiest kid in school, like Ford, and then the whole AU Falcon dilemma came around, and I was like, oh my god, like it's such a meme. I'm buying one. And I left my job. Then I got a massive payout, and I was like, let's just grab the biggest piece of shit and just blow it up. And the thing was just like, you should have seen it. It's just caught fire because the guy like drifted it into into like a pole or something like that. So like the old rear quarter panel was like all crinkled, and so after that it just sat. So rats built a nest on top of the exhaust, and like when you buy a cheap shitty car that you're wanting to blow up anyway, you like don't leave the limiter alone.
Yeah.
And so that caused it to get really hot, and the exhaust and the rat's nest caught fire. And brand new car, I was like, how the hell do you open the boot and the bonnet? Because I don't know, I just had a gut feeling. I was like, all right, whatever. Called the fire brigade. The guy had a massive crowbar, just the boot.
Jeez.
And it was just disgusting. And I was like, I'm rocking this because this is pretty cool. It's like a flex on how shitty my car is. And it was just disgusting, and it drove amazing. Like,
shit.
Like, I can't even explain it.
Damn.
Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Crazy.
And, like, after that, the transmission had, like, no fluid in it. So, it was real, sketchy. Like, you like accelerated out of your petrol station, then it like did a skid there. Got pulled up like 3 times because of it, thought I was being a dick in front of cops and stuff, and I was like, play some time right in front of a cop at a petrol station, ain't it?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's a big stick in your car, and I was like, well, fuck it, whatever. But he didn't, and so the transmission finally gave out, and caught fire once again. Then I fell in love with another car, and at the time I had 4 cars, and I was like, I'm not having a 5th, so I was like, it's just like, I don't want any money for anything, I'm just getting rid of this, just so I can have this. And so I got rid of that. Then, God, when was my next one? I lost my license at the end of that year, and so I sold my Beamer that I had. Thank God. Then I was like, alright, I kind of want like a Fairlane because like it's sick.
Yeah, Fairlane's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when I brought it, it was 533,000 Ks, and I was like, this is going to drive like a piece of shit. Like, it's going to blow up on me. I'm prepared, but I just want this car. And went around everyone, and I was like, please tell me how many Ks this has, and it drove amazingly, and they're like, 100, and even my dad's like real good with that. It's actually scary. You like give him a car and you're like, test drive it and tell me how many Ks it has without looking, and he's like, and it's like bang on.
Damn.
Then even he said just clocking over 200,000. I was like, no. And that was, so I just kept on going through them because they haven't really failed on me,
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Then after that, I got a good deal on a VE Calais, which was like pretty good, fairly low Ks and that. And it just scared me because I like working on my cars, and I don't like paying some other tosser to fix it for me at a mechanic. And I'm not fixing that. Like, screw that. It's too modern for me. And the main thing that scared me is the timing chain. I don't really like, the whole dilemma about them. Is like, fair enough. But like, if it did, $2,000, and I'm like, nah, I'm not good.
Yeah.
And then your whole engine's cooked, and it's like, nah. So I had it on the market for what I wanted pretty much as soon as I got it. Just why not? And I finally sold it, and I was like, okay, I need a car now. And straight to Falcons I went, because what's gonna happen? Like, what's the worst that can happen to your car? Pretty much your engine blows.
Yeah.
Then with a Falcon, pretty much like the worst case scenario, your engine blows, you get a bunch of your mates around, box of beers, go up north with someone's ute,
Yeah,
and just
go grab a motor.
just weekend out of it, boom,
Yeah.
your car's running from, your Monday shift at work.
Yeah, no, it's
You know?
easily enough done.
Yeah, exactly.
Easily enough
so
done, and
that's,
cheap enough
that's
too.
why I keep on having them, I guess.
It makes sense financially.
Yeah,
And
but then
effectively.
even they are like skyrocketing, as we were talking about
Yeah,
the other day.
that's
And it's
it.
like, I don't
Everything's
really
going
want
up.
to. I don't really.
Anything pre-2000s right now.
Yeah,
is
because I've
going
got
up.
a 98 EL Fairmont, which is like, not being biased, but it's like the tightest one I've seen in a few years.
Yep.
And everyone's like, "Oh, I'll give you this much," and I'm like, "Well, when I do get rid of it, I'll probably get like triple that, because don't have a reason to get rid of it, and I don't. They
Yeah,
are
yeah.
appreciating, and I don't really, don't have a use for getting rid of it."
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. Had a I always have to have kind of a fuck around, like, depends if there's cops watching, skid car.
Yeah.
Just so I don't fuck my daily, because it's like I've been there, done that, and it's
Yeah,
not
you're
fun.
rough. Yeah.
So
I did that. I
Yeah.
committed to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always had a few. But yeah, we all know what happened to the current one. Stolen.
Yeah, is that, what's the story with that?
So
If you want to share.
yeah, I lived in Moira, which is the lower hut one that I moved in with my partner.
Yep.
It was, fairly cool, because it had like a little 3-car parking thing. It wasn't like, it was just a bit of gravel, but it, like, my 2 cars and my partner's car, that's us.
Yeah.
And I've not had a license for like 9 months as well. And so it just kind of sat there, and I was like, I can't be, like, I don't have the knowledge to actually do what I want with it. And my mate's like, oh yeah, I've got a place up north and I can do it. So it lived up just south of Mangaweka, I think it is. For a while. I only got it back like 3 weeks, a month ago, and it just sat there, and I was like, driving it to the dairy and that, just because it was like literally on my road, and I was like, just keeps it moving, I guess, because I don't believe in just cars sitting. I think it's just cruel.
Yeah, I'm gutted my ute's been sitting for so long.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I was like, cool. So we moved out there, lived in Wellington, and I was like, well, I'm getting my license like the day I move, so I'm not gonna piss around with moving the Falcon. Like, I'm gonna do it on Saturday. And I forgot that I had one of my shows on Saturday, so I was like, oh shit, I can't do it. Then Saturday night at the big meet, I got like adrenaline, and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm getting this bloody car.
Yeah.
It's fucking like,
Oh, I was
because
saying
like
all night.
even the loudest car there, and I was like, not being a dick, but there's fucking nothing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
my car's so much louder.
Oh, but even I was sitting
yeah.
there, bro, going like, man, if my ute was here, I'd be coming home to grab it, eh? Like,
Yeah, so went home to grab it, and it just wasn't there, and I just sat there in my car for like a minute, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that would be real weird.
and I was like, have I like been so fucking stoned that I've like put my car somewhere? And I was like, no, it's been like 2 weeks. I was like, what? And I was like, I didn't say anything for like ages. So I was like, I'm just fucking running home as fast as I can. Had rung the police, and I was like, right, my car's been bloody nicked, and they're like, okay, cool, what's the condition of it? And I was like, rough.
Rough.
And he's like, can you tell me any like descriptive notes about the car? And I was like, doesn't have rear seats, doesn't have an exhaust. You know, I'm talking to the bloody police, you know, and I'm like, it's like,
Oh,
fuck. And he's like, oh, cool, okay, project, is it? And I was like, technically it is, yeah. And he's like, cool. Anything else? And I was like, well, the whole rear bash bar, like under the metal bit behind your bumpers, like just doesn't exist anymore with rust. And so because I took it in for a waft as soon as I seen it, because with the Falcons appreciating, I don't really want to skid up a nice one.
Yeah.
So it has to be fucked, you know, which that car very was.
Yeah.
So I took it in for a waft to give it a chance, and if it needed this, I would have just done it, flicked it, you know, got a bigger piece of crap. And you know, it was all going well. He wasn't giving me any faces or anything. Then the other guy came in, so the two looking over it. The guy came in the pit, looked under for rust, then he went quiet, and I was like, whatever. Then he just yelled, "Whoa, that's fucked!" And I was like,
no.
Oh no. Like, I've taken some pretty crappy cars to get wafts, and like I've never had someone yell, "That's fucked," you know.
Damn.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." So he's like, "Don't tell me you just brought it." And I was like, "Yeah, it arrived like last night." He's like, "What are you doing with it?" And I was like, "Well, it's a Falcon, so what do you expect?" And he's like, "Good." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I like went home and I was like, "I don't care about this car. I'm fucking ripping this bumper off. I don't want to know what he's talking about." And it's just gone. I was like,
Oh, wow.
man, that's awesome.
That's
So the
insane.
bumper was like hanging off, and it was just the biggest like piece of crap ever. And yeah, and somehow it looked like a bloody Rolls Royce to someone and gone. But yeah, I don't want to say too much, but we're close to finding out who did it, sort of thing. Wink, wink.
Right.
So yeah,
Alright.
yeah. So that's me at the moment. That's my car life, I guess, up to date. And I have one more hobby that's, I guess, well, I have like lots of hobbies, but like I have two big ones, and I breed guinea pigs, I guess.
Yep.
It's pretty fat. My friend had two. She had like 4 up in Hawke's Bay where she like lives, but she's down here for uni. And 2 of them died, and she was just like wrecked, and she was like, "I'm getting like 2 more, and I'm keeping them down here." And I was like, "They're just the cutest little things ever." So I got 2 of my own, then she got an extra like 2, and then I was like, well, I only have like, because there's 2 types, there's like show ones and pet ones.
Yeah.
And you know, pedigrees, and so I had 2 pet ones, and I was like, well, I don't have a show one yet. And no, I got another pet first, which was there's this thing called like assassin gene, which makes them all shiny and stuff, and it it means like their bones are a bit more brittle and stuff like that, so we don't like breed for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got her because like, you know, I felt bad, but then I was like, okay, I got 3 pets and I don't have like 1 pedigree, so I was like, you know, just get 1 more.
Yeah.
And so then I had 3 pets and 1 pedigree, and like the shows always are like laid out the same, and my 1 pedigree was the first one to go up. And I was like, well, I don't want to like piss around the whole show, you know, so I was like, just get another one. And yeah, now I have like what, like 30 now. And it's like, oh, you're cute. And I was like, oh, I have a carry cage in my car. And I was like, oh. But yeah, so
That's pretty cool.
yeah, there's something different.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, the biggest like dilemma about it is I make it such a big deal, but my cover photo, because it's like I want to like act cool for my car friends, so I have like a sick like skid pig, like, you know,
Yeah.
my Falcon as my wallpaper, but I don't want to like look like a tosser to my guinea pig friends, and it's like just weighing it up, and it's like, oh, I don't know, but just have a nice one off my daily, so I guess it, yeah,
Yeah.
it works, so yeah. Yeah.
It's quite a funny dilemma.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I've
it's
made
quite
it
funny.
such a big deal, and it's like my own fault, and it's my own problem. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just quite a unique dilemma.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's quite opposite hobbies, I guess. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's everyone
Yeah.
that I know is just in the car scene. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
exactly,
You know?
yeah.
99% of everyone I
Yeah.
know.
Well, never used to like guinea pigs. I only got them like a year ago, and before that, I was strictly like only cars, and I was like, well, like, I want to do something else with my life, like,
Yeah.
you know, like not like screw cars, but like I want like another hobby
As well,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what the hell do I like? And I was like, I think animals are pretty cool, but it's like I can't have like a llama or anything at home because Mum would kill me. But I'm just got these little dudes, and yeah.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm much the same. That's why I've got this.
Yeah.
You know, just gives me something else to do. I needed something else to fill the time.
Yeah.
And this was perfect.
I remember
thoroughly enjoyed it so far.
when I first found it. Saw it on, I think it was the Unorthodox story on Instagram. I think I was like,
yep.
Oh yeah, whatever. And yeah, it's just like too interesting to just sweep under the rug. And I was like, okay, cool. This will be like a cool thing to like sleep to, and because my partner always like listens to like rain sounds and stuff, so I was like, I kind of want to do that as well, but I don't want to like rely on rain sounds and that with my headphones. And I was like, oh, I reckon these podcasts would be like perfect, but then it's like too interesting. So I'm like always there, like watching it at like 2 a.m, like trying to sleep. And
I love it.
Yeah, and I arrived to work the next morning, like completely changed my mind about the world and stuff.
Shit.
It's like, yeah,
we actually made a decent impact.
It's honestly like screwed me up, but yeah.
You reckon?
Like
good or for bad?
Not good or bad. It's just like, whoa,
Opened
like,
your
I
eyes to a few
did
things.
not think of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm pretty like I'm not the smartest person out, so it's like I don't really think of that crap, but like,
well, from what I can gather from the people I've now talked with, is that these realizations that I've already had and we've shared are realizations that most people eventually come to. And with the help of podcasts, which is a lot of reasons why we've come to these realizations, listen to Joe or the Misfits, it just helps spread the word and makes people aware, and I firmly believe that people should be educated to the most, you know. So that's why these help, and I'm quite glad that that's the point that is getting across.
Definitely. Well, I think it's like quite cool as well, because like you're all in the car scene and stuff, and it's like you're all like relatively familiar, and to specifically figure out it was you, it was quite cool, because I've like known you for like 2 years or something. When did you get your car?
I would have got that like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, because I remember I was like zooming down on my old Toyota Levin down the gorge, and I saw you before you did like all the stuff to it. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, cool Cressida," and I was like, "That's not a Cressida." I was like, "What the hell is it?" So I like snuck a photo. I went straight home, and I was like, "What the hell? What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, that thing's cool. I want one. Then it's like, I saw you like a few weekends later, and I was like, whoa, you know, it was like, that's actually a thing, you know. I thought it was like the coolest thing.
It's such a hard car to come by.
Yeah.
Such a hard car to come. There's so many different variations of them. Like there's the Triple S model, and then there's like 4 different variants of just that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're so rare to come by in this country. A lot of them got crushed.
Because no one cared about them.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's,
and the wagons are even harder. The wagons got like completely abolished. Yeah. So there was a big story behind that, because what happened was Nissan in Japan had designed a car for Australia and New Zealand, which was the U12 wagon.
Yeah.
And in Australia thought they were getting a car just for themselves. And so when it came over and they found it was also going to here, and then they found it was going to Canada as well. Yeah. They were like, oh, well, fuck you. And they kind of did their own twist on it, added a few little things. And Japan, Nissan was like, no, fuck you, and stopped production altogether. So like we ended up with spite, we ended up with like stuff all of them. Yeah. Because of just that little argument.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about like those like 90s Japanese cars, is no one cares about them at all until they're gone. Yep. You know, even me, I hated everything like that. You know, maybe a bit older like yours like was okay, but like just everything, I was like, just this a piece of crap, get it away. But one of my friends is just, he loves like just Corollas and that, like the ones that nobody cares about. Yeah. And we're quite close in that, and he like takes me for a ride. He had like a cannot remember, like 93. He's gonna like watch this and scream at me, but he had like this older Corona liftback, just car that nobody cares about, you know, it's trashed and everything like that, except for his one. His was like sort of tidy, but like it drove pretty good.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, these are actually a thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I'm like, that's pretty cool, you know.
The old Corollas go hard.
Yeah,
they don't stop. My stepdad had a old late 90s Corolla, and he had it for like 8 years, and he was like one of the top mechanics at Brendan Foote. And yeah, he brought it with a fucked power steering pump, never replaced it, and he swears over that time it got better.
Yeah.
He swears it fixed itself over 8 years.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, Toyotas are just
keep going.
Yeah.
Those old 90s motors just keep going.
Yeah.
Same with that. That got me to and from Woodville every day last year.
Yeah. So, yeah, my old Levin was pretty impressive as well, just like performance-wise. It was just a 4AFE auto, just base model as, and everyone's like, oh, is it manual, is it 4H? And I was like, just FE auto, and they're like, that's slow! And I was like, please, can I take you for a ride up the Paikokariki Hill?
Yeah.
They were blown away, and they're like, there's no fucking way this is a 4AFE. And I was like, pop the bonnet. And they're like, whoa. And I was like, it's not like, if you know how to like drive your car,
you can get a lot out of it.
Anything can go hard.
Yep.
Like,
no, I firmly believe that.
I drove it like a manual because I thought I was cool, but like that really helped the car, I reckon, like impress people, because like with the drive, it's like up the hill, then it's like But there's like if
you actually use the gears, well, that's what the gears are there for.
Yeah, exactly.
You might as well use them.
Yeah, but I guess like just get a manual, I guess. But like, you know,
well, that's auto.
Yeah, well, you don't.
That's my first auto I've owned. I didn't think I'd ever own an auto, because whenever I had manuals, I had the whole like auto stigma thing. But once I got that, like, I love that, because that's just my cruisy car. I've got my manuals that like I have fun in, but that's just my like cruise the spots car.
My my Levin was like my not my first car, but I learned how to drive in it, and we're meant to only keep it for 3 months, because you know, in New Zealand, how you have the all-learners for 6 months. I only meant to have the auto for 3 months, then get a manual after I've like learned indicators and all that, because it's like that could be quite hard. You know, like indicating, then like shifting down and stuff like that. But like the car was bloody too impressive and I just fell in love with it to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I never really learned how to drive manual, and I just never got around to it until I went halves with my mate Sam that I mentioned before, with the old Lada. And that was like the crappiest gearbox you could ever imagine. Well, you can imagine because it's Russian, but you know, I've had like this and that in manual, but like it's just I don't shop for automatics, but just every car that I do buy happens to be automatic.
It's a lot easier to come by autos,
and it's just manuals are just stupid expensive. It's like $3,000 XR6 versus this exact same car, but manual, and that's $7 or $8 grand.
Yeah,
and it's like
literally for that, exactly. Yeah,
and it's the same with like Beamers and just everything, I guess. You know, and I've just never really got around to actually properly like owning a manual. I guess only like project cars and that.
Yeah, you haven't had that full experience with it.
Yeah, well, I like learned how to drive manual with my Lada and my Triumph, but I
tell you though, when you learn how to actually drive manual, like it is fun as fuck, man. Like, it is so much fun. My first car was a Hyundai Ascent, and that was manual, and that was when I was living out the Ackers, and oh my god, I used to throw that thing down that road. Like, it was so much fun. And every car, as I said, every car I've had since then has been manual bar that. So like I've had two of those Hyundais, the Ute and GF8 Subi. That was a weapon.
Are those the GC8s, but like the wagons? Okay, cool. I'm not too like knowledgeable with the Subarus, but I know what a GC8 is, and I know what a GF8 is.
And the thing was a weapon. I brought that and sold it within 8 weeks.
Wow.
I brought it, and I brought it off Craig. You probably know Craig.
Yeah,
Everyone knows
yeah.
Craig.
I fucking love Craig. I love seeing his just him popping up on Facebook stuff, and he's just commenting the funniest crap, and I was like,
he racks people
fuck
up.
You hilarious, eh? And you can see his comment with 34 replies, and I was like, ooh. Oh, it's great.
Once upon a time, I was really, really close with him. I was round at his place every day for dinner.
Yeah.
And he owned that Subi before I did. And I brought off him because he wanted a ute. Yeah. And it scared the shit out of me, because it's just 2-litre turbo Rex.
Yeah.
That thing was a weapon. It drove like it was brand new. And there was one day I took it through the Acres, started off on the Waikanae side and came over to the side, and I just kept going, and I just kept pushing it around the corner. Every corner I went faster and faster. I was like, let's see how far I can take this. And the car went round the corner better the faster I did it. Yeah. And so we got fucking terrifying.
Dangerous.
I got to the cemetery on this side, I had to get out the car and actually stop and breathe. I was shaking, and it was at that point where I was like, I need to sell this because I'm going to kill myself in it.
Yeah, no, that was the same with Live-In, really. I kept on pushing and it just kept on giving, and one time I was really down in the dumps depression wise, and I was like, if I crash this, I really don't care.
Yeah.
So I was going way too fast around the corner and just driving, and you're just like okay, that handled it.
Yeah.
Somehow,
yeah. I've had that same moment.
It's just, what the hell,
I've had that with the ute. I did the same thing. I got in a real bad state a few years back, and I took it through the Acres really with the intention of not coming out the other side. Yeah. And she came out the other side, and I don't know how the hell she did it. That was my fastest run through there I've ever done. I recorded it, I put my phone up on the dash and recorded the whole thing.
I used to do that on Pike, okay. Yeah.
So much fun.
And my mate, it was quite dangerous because my mate's boyfriend had a S15 Sylvia at the time as well, and they're quite a big difference performance-wise to a Live-In, and we did an automotive course at the time, so they came to course, and they're like, we did blah 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 on the Sylvia, and I was like, I know what I'm doing when I get home, and trying to push the stupid little Live-In even more than I should, just to match up with a car that's just not even a competitor. But somehow I got rid of that car without an insurance write-off, and I'm very proud of that.
Dope.
Yeah. But I don't have that much fun in the Falcons anymore on hill climbs because, quite obvious, just
the body roll. Yeah. No, my ute's good for that. She's real stiff because she's real low. Yeah. So it doesn't move. It just goes around the corners. I know exactly how much power I need to put around a corner before she gives, or to keep traction. That it's surprisingly for an old Nissan Navara that was once upon a time a farm truck. It's a weapon.
They're pretty bloody strong, huh?
Oh yeah. Have you seen photos of it? Have you seen
it's that blue one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably got a nice photo in here actually.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I do. Oh, there's an old photo. That's before I repainted it.
Was that you?
Yeah, there was one of the hard parts.
So jealous. I want to go on the pad so bad.
I don't know.
But I've just never had the car at the right time, and it's just...
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was the first year that Hard Park took it to the pad.
Was that year before last or something?
3 years ago. 3 Hard Parks ago.
Oh my god.
Wow. And back then, it was you had to pass basic scrutineering, so none of my rust mattered. It just had to be seatbelts worked. There was no leaks, and the battery was tied down.
That was meant to be what round 4 was, what I called my latest skid pig, and I was like, this is going to go through some engines. I just want the car to be alive on my birthday in October, in Hard Park, after Hard Park. I don't care. Yeah. Because I even know how I'm going to show it and stuff like that, Yeah. I was going to just do set after set after set after set after set the night before, put them all up in the back seats with no seats in, and put them in the back and just make it look like an animal. But yeah, hopefully I'll get it back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh well, there will be another one before I fuck my ear, which I really don't want to do, but yeah.
There we go, there she is.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember that. So what's wrong with it?
Rust, pretty much.
Okay,
there's a couple of things. It's really rust. it's too low. my leaf spring hanger up here is 98 mil to the ground. So I just need to raise the back up a little bit.
No, that's fair enough.
But yeah, it's mainly rust. I've got a fist size hole in the floor, and I've got a lot around the battery tray. Other than that, it's really just minor things like bushes, bearings. It needs a couple of U-bolts.
Rust isn't fun.
Oh no, hell no. I've been hiding it for years.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't have done that. But she runs mint. She runs good. She's TD27 that I turboed.
Yeah.
She's done like, the clock's done like 200,000, but she's done like well over 400,000.
Yeah.
And runs mint. She's running 12 pounds of boost.
Well, that's the thing. It's like my
She jumps off the mark.
Yeah, my latest AU that had 570,000 Ks. Like way more than it should. And you just started up, bang, first try, and it ran so smooth.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell? Like, how is this thing still a thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But, no, I do appreciate those utes. I reckon, like, I'm not a fan of 90s utes, like, at all, just because of, like, the sacked out, like, couriers and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I'm not a fan of the couriers. Don't even get me started on the
it's
white
just
couriers
like,
on black wheels with 2-inch blocks.
Exactly, you know? And
They're
it's like,
all
they're
the
just
same.
all the same. But, like,
They're all the same.
Because it's a D21, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because those are pretty much the only ones I like. Because they, the one in the automotive course that I said I did, there was this guy called Matthew. He had a 4G63 swapped L200.
Yep.
And it was lowered on wheels, of course, but like it was just simple. That's what I like. I'm not a fan of like wide bodies and stuff because they're just like too like in your face, and I like the factory lines. It was just a matte army green with black wheels, and that's it.
Man.
And it's like that thing is actually pretty freaking cool, you know.
I love the L200s. I've seen quite a few done like really nicely.
Yeah.
Especially it laid out. That's a real good place to see a lot of those cool utes.
Yeah. Then his mate, who was also in the course, had a D21 as well. So that L200 made me look at the D21. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool as well, you know. And so I guess I kind of only like the D21s, I guess. But you know, you had the odd courier and stuff. You're like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when someone's put some actual effort into it and not just lowered it on black wheels,
concaves
with their
all the same, you know,
with their factory white paint. It's not cool. It is not cool. I'm sorry, but it's not.
Yeah.
The amount of time and effort I've put into my
one, and you're like, why do I like that? Like, it's a lower courier, but like, that's pretty cool. I think it was like a grey one I saw. I can't quite remember.
I've seen one with like a big ass wide body on it.
Yeah.
And it had running boards in it. Like the running boards were like this low to the ground. Yeah. Like it was sick. Like that was cool. That had like a real cool flair to it. But
yeah,
all the standard ones you see at drags.
Yeah, it's just no, they're all the same. So I don't really like them. Because as I said before, I mainly only like cars that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Like as a you know, actual perspective, you know, so I like, you know, Falcons and that, as I said, but like they're all the same as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just in for them because they're pretty good and cheap as fuck for now. But yeah. But my main thing is just have something that no one else has.
Unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was like half my intention with the ute.
Yeah.
But I mainly brought the ute on a joke. Like,
yeah.
It was my mate's ute years ago, and he had brought it because we crashed his car.
Yeah.
And he needed something to like drive around in, so he brought this farm truck, which is the ute I now have.
Yeah.
And and it was one day we were looking at it, and I was like, bro, you could do so much to this. Yeah. Like telling him pretty much what I've done to it. And he was like, oh, well, when I'm done with it, do you want to buy it? Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, all right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've kind of had a buying a car as a joke. I had a old VR Statesman, like old as because my mate was looking for like one part for his VR Commodore. No, not sorry, VNVS, VNVP, not VR. And I was like, cool. Like he didn't have trade me for whatever reason. I can't quite remember. We don't really talk now for whatever reason, but he's like, oh, can you look on Trade Me? This is my budget. This is where I'm willing to travel or whatever. And I gave him a ring. I always dollar reserve scroll is like I'm obsessed with it. It's just get cheap shit for no reason. I love it. And I found the Statesman for $1 reserve. It was, you know, was a dollar reserve car. Like, you know, you can't expect it to look $1 million. It was a rolling body. It didn't have any headlights or grille. Didn't have any springs. So it was like on his ass, and it looked pretty fat, from the right angle. And so I gave him a ring, and I was like, all right, this is where you're picking it up from, Palmerston North. Yeah. And he's like, cool, I'll leave now. And I was like, oh yeah, bring a car trailer. And he's like, what? I literally won this car for $1. Like, I shit you not. $1 bloody dollar.
Holy cow.
And at the end of the guy's like, oh, don't worry, it's only a bloody $1. And I was like, cool. So I got it literally for free.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And I was like, there's a good few $100 worth of parts in there. And I said, grab whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Scrap it. Give me the money. And he's like, sick. Got $150 for it in the end for doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is
I was
some sick hustle.
Pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that is some sick hustle.
Yeah, no, I've done a few good hustles. I'm quite proud of. There was this you might remember that VT Commodore with the blue one with the body kit and the orange doors sitting. Can't remember the street. Over there somewhere in Upper Hutt.
Quite possibly.
Well, my Upper Hutt house was on Wilford Street, and no license. So I was like walking home, and I kept on seeing it, and I was like, oh shit, it's a for sale sign, and I was like, like for a joke, he's like, ring him and see how much, just to waste his time. And he's like, oh, probably about like $1,000, but like lowest would be like 800, and I was like, oh fuck, that's not actually that bad. Like I think like the body kit would be worth like majority off that. So I was like, I was originally going to part it out, and I was like, cool, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a real big pay as well, and I was like, this is manageable. I can pay my rent, pay for my food, and this car in the same week. And I rang him up a few days later, and I was like, would you do $750? Like, today, I would like leave work in an hour, and I'll meet you soon. He was like, yeah, why not? So I got it, and I was like, fuck, like, what do I do with this then? And so I drove it home, took some photos of it, and put it on Marketplace for $1,200, and sold it that night. Had it 4 hours.
Shit.
And he had a orange one as well, just a parts car, and he's like, oh, do you want this too? And I was like, I literally have $30 in my bank account, and then that's like to buy food at work, and the bus card and that. But what do you want for it? And he's like, oh, it comes free. And I'm like, oh, fucking nice. I was like, sweet. And,
oh my god.
Yeah. And so I was like, cool. And he's like, oh, just don't really care. Just grab it whenever. And I was like, sweet. Put that on Marketplace for $300. Sold that. And I was like, cool. And saw the shell of it. GMR, I think it's called, up on the highway. Yep. And we're like at Drags one night, and mate's like, oh, that's your old Commodore. And I was like, cool, because it's a Commodore and it's a scrappy. And it's like, no, like, look, it's your car. And I was like, oh my god, it's my car. And like, that way for like 2 or 3 months, it's just, I remember you. Like passing.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I made like a shitload of money out of that.
Mate.
Yeah, I quite like making money out of cars. But then I have like my cars that I keep, sort of thing. It's just, I just love the hustle. It's so fun. Good. Yeah.
I've never made money off of cars. I've only but lost money.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
I made my money back on the Subi, but like I just came to like equal.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm kind of like, I'm sick of losing money because fuck that. It's like God.
Yeah.
I know what I've done.
Cars, which is my issue. Like my 2 Hyundais that I've had, like the Subi. Like I spent 2.5, and I made back. The 5.5, and I made back the 5.5. But the other two are my 2 Hyundais, which I like brought for way too much and sold for like a couple of $100. Like I lost out on them. But my other vehicles, I've still got. Like, I haven't gotten rid of any of my cars.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my rule. If I don't make any money, I just don't get rid of it.
Yeah,
because I'm just sick of like it fucking out. And one of my E36 is like, you know how like everyone's like, oh, Subarus and the head gasket and blah blah blah, but like 9 times out of 10 you really don't have a problem. I thought that was kind of the same with BMWs, and I was like, they're not actually going to be that bad because they're old. No.
I've heard some horrific stories.
I mean, it wasn't like bad. It just had a drive shaft issue.
Yep.
And one of the bushings was just non-existent. So like it was like the bushing like under your seat, pretty much. And so there was nothing to like keep the drive shaft where it should be. So like you accelerate until like 30 I think it was, and you hear clunk 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 clunk, and you felt it as well. And I was like, nah, screw that. It was like real faint at first, but then it just started going up and up and up and up and worse and worse and worse, and I was like, okay, cool. Oh, I drive fast for a BMW E36, easy. But no, BMWs, it has to be very specific, and I had to go all the way to bloody Hawke's Bay to find one.
Jeez.
Just for it to not to fit.
Oh,
because I got told that you have to have a 328i, which like, you don't see.
Yeah.
You have to have a sedan, 328i, automatic, with this specific diff, and I was like, fuck that. Like,
Jesus.
what? Because they're all like 320s in there, you know, and I finally found one. My first car, my Triumph, my first Triumph, bought it off an absolute E36 nutter, and he's the sort of guy like, how many cars do you have? And he's like, blocks you, you know, like he's just like, no, I'm not answering that. He's got, I think he said 22 E36s and all sort of different stuff. Don't ask me. Don't ask him either, because he doesn't have an answer either. But yeah, and I was like, he would know. He would have one.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool, you know, I have one. And so I went up there, and it was like this much too long, and like the bolts like just didn't fit in. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, oh man, I'm not doing this myself ever again, because I've taken the drive shaft out, I've taken all the exhaust brackets and everything off like 17 times.
Yeah.
I was like, just piss away, just give it to the mechanic and it's his problem. And he did like this and that, because, you know, kind of like yanked the transmission like ever so slightly, so it's like fixed that. And moral of the story, I gave him $3,000. And just for 3 days, it started making it again.
Wow.
And I was like, yay! You know?
Wow.
And yeah, a few months later, I lost my license for the first time, and I was like, that's my cue to get the fuck rid of that bloody thing.
Yeah.
And sold it for like $1,500, and I got it for like 2.5, spent $3,000 on it. You do the math, you know? Ouch.
Yeah, lost a bit.
Yeah, you know, I've always had the savings from my granny and papa and stuff just for uni and that, and I didn't end up going to uni, so it's just sitting there. And kind of dad had access to it, and he's like, you're not borrowing my car to go to work, and you're not borrowing all these cars and blah blah blah, because it's just a pain for everyone. So I'm buying you a car. It's your car, spending it with your money, but I'm buying it with your And I worked night shift at the time, and he woke me up like an hour through my sleep after a bloody 11-hour shift, and it was like nuts. And it was on the driveway, my E36, that was at the mechanics for a month, and I was like, what the hell? And he didn't like ask me to like have my money or anything. He just brought it, but it like had different plates, and like it had the same color, same wheels, but like a little bit was missing out of like the, you know, the plastic trim on the wing mirror.
Yep.
And it's like just little things were different, but apart from that, the car was identical. And, you know, 11-hour shift, 1 hour sleep. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, what the hell, Dad? And he's like, do you like it? And I was like, because like the side indicators were like different as well. And I was like, why the fuck would he like buy indicators for my car? Like, what? And then I like, you know, found out that it was actually a different car. So, you know, what do you do when one car fucks out and you hate it so much? You buy a car identical. But I must say, that car, I've never had a problem with it. It was so good.
Well, that's good.
And sold it to another person in the car scene. The worst problem that he had was a wheel bearing. Can't blame the car for that, because every car needs a wheel bearing.
It's a service part.
You know.
Yeah.
And it just made me bloody angry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. But yeah, because like, I just got rid of them both, and I was like, fuck, like that's a problem for. Yeah, and I checked it the other day actually, and it's actually off the road. It's reg on hold, and I was like, I don't know if I like want to like cry in joy or like be real sad, because I always like get attached to my cars. It's like a, you know,
same.
yeah, and it's But
my first car's off the road now. The guy I sold it to held on to it for ages. I sold it to him with no waft, no reach, and he never got it waft and reach. Drove it for 2 years. It's well and truly gone now.
Yeah, my first car was a old Triumph, and I love that thing. But
they're cool.
Never really drove it. Drove it 10 kilometers, not 10,000, 10 kilometers, and the 4 or 5 years that I owned it.
Wow.
And that thing was pretty straight. Like, you know, you can't get one like that for $500 anymore.
Yeah.
Running, driving, with like minimal issues, complete. Not a bloody shell.
You'd be paying big money for that.
Yeah.
Big money.
Live as well, so it was reg on hold.
And it
big
money for that.
Wasn't rusted out. It was probably like 5% rusted out.
Yeah.
And that's nothing. And I spent this and that, and it was really in the same condition as I left it. It was probably a bit worse, and sold it for $2,000. So the market for that even is just.
Yeah,
like,
it's gone right up.
Man,
It's like my cars. Like, I paid for both. I paid $1,000 for the Ute. I paid $1,100 for that.
Yeah, good luck getting that again.
You can't. There's currently none in the country for sale, so I don't really have a market there.
Yeah.
And the Ute's at $8,000 for just a tidy standard normal one. Like, I could probably push 12 for mine and waft the reach.
How long have you had it?
I would have had that for like 4 years now.
That's nuts.
Yeah, paid $1,000 for it, and the wheels that are on it.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've seen is Laurel's, the prices for those, because
that went up so quick.
When I was buying my E36 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was like, do I buy do I not spend all my money and get like a nice tidy blah blah blah, or do I go all out, spend every single penny I have and get a C33? Because that's like my one of my meant to be like my affordable dream car, but my other one
would have been affordable once upon a time.
But they're affordable to my two others, which are a Kenmure Skyline and a Plymouth Superbird, but they're just 400,000. So C33s are very, very, very affordable at the moment.
Not a realm of possibility.
Yeah, but but like a tidy one of those was $6,000, and now I'm like, do I get a house or do I get a Laurel? They're just like they're like $30,000 now, and it's like, what?
It's all these cars, man, they're just going up. It's ridiculous.
I can't justify spending $30,000 on a car that reality should be $10,000. It's just, I don't understand how people are spending all this money on Sylvias and stuff like that, and it's
crazy. It's because someone out there wants it, someone that's rich.
Yeah, I think it's because that's what we grew up with, and we are beginning to get money now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we've had this dream of having these cars for 10 plus years, and now we've got money. We'll pay anything to have that dream come true.
Well,
that's exactly it.
It's like 32 GTRs. I remember people laughed at you if you sold your 32 GTR for $25,000.
Yeah.
Now you're like, is it a shell?
It's like you just price. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
They're skimming 100K now.
Yep, just under.
And that wasn't even that long ago that,
No.
I remember I had a friend in Auckland who I was over Messenger putting a gun to his head, and I was like, you are buying this 32 GTR for $30,000. You are. If not, I'll buy it off you when I can afford it for whatever you spent on it. Rust repairs, blah, blah, blah. I'll pay all that.
Yeah.
He's selling his for he's done a bit of work to it, but he sold his for $130,000.
Shit.
And I'm like, you're welcome.
God damn. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's insane.
I was
made $100K on it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Because I'm a bit of a trade me slut, and I just live on it.
Yeah.
So I know the markets on stuff quite well.
Yeah.
And it's you can tell when stuff is going up, And I was like, please get this bloody car. You won't regret it.
Yeah.
And it's well, the worst, as I said, the worst that can happen, I'll buy it for like whatever you spent on it.
Yeah.
You know, you lost no money anyway, and I just overpaid for this crappy car that nobody cares about for whatever reason, you know. But yeah,
and went up.
But yeah, no, yeah, he's doing real well now.
Because I got one more car on my want to keep list that I need. And I don't know. It's not even a specific car. It's just I want a boxy wagon, because I've got my like boxy Jap Ute, my boxy Jap car. I want a boxy Jap wagon,
like a 31 or something.
That would be sick. That would be so sick to come by. Yeah, but I would even settle just for like an old 1990 Corolla wagon.
Easy, yeah.
Oh, I would settle for that.
They're pretty bloody cool.
They are.
They are the one that I hated. You know, they're the one that I didn't care about. But like, there's one dude in the car scene who has like a blue one, and I was like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And there's a white one going around, like a white wagon. You know, like, I'll pay quite a bit of money for that car.
Yeah.
Like, I generally will, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, after that, like, I don't see me being able to buy any other form of car that's that old.
Well, that's what, like, you guys have taught me on this thing, because, you know, I've kind of gone to brought this car this much, but, like, I want this much for it. If you know, flick me with anywhere near that, it's gone, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, my Falcon, don't think I'm generally going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Unless I get, like, stupid offer like right now, like 10k or something, but I really don't see that coming. But
shit, so we've taught you the value of value.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that's like, interesting. I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like, they're going up, blah blah blah, but it's like you guys have taught me just to hang on to your shit, because like we're going for a wild bloody ride, you know.
Yeah.
But so I've kind of wanted to get like a daily and chuck that thing in storage, but it's like, well, like, I don't know if it's going to be in my lifetime, like our lifetime, but I think eventually it would be like you can't legally own a gas car anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's not going to be long.
And it's like, well, like, imagine like spending all that bloody time for my car sitting in storage and I can't bloody drive the thing ever again.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to jail, you know?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, to see how it pans out.
Yeah. No, I think that's going to be a thing, like,
it just
like
depends
not
how long
soon,
it's going to take.
but like, you know, in the next 100 years, and it's just going to be interesting because all these like Dodges and everything like that just going to be like,
go to waste.
I fully can't sell it, because what are you going to do with it? You're going to put it in your garage for it to look cool, but then it's like, you know, if all these Teslas and whatever going around, and you open your garage and there's this old bloody 7-litre V8 Dodge Charger in the garage, like, you're going to get some filthy looks, I reckon.
Yeah, it's going to stand out.
But
real
it's like
bad.
But then it's like you can't crush it, because it's like, just look how nice it is. But it's like, what are you going to do with it? Yeah,
well, think about this, is that when it becomes to the point where, like, globally we agree that we need electric cars, and it's forbidden to have petrol cars. Right, you think about how many cars we have in the world right now. We've got to replace every single one of them with an electric car. We're going to run out of space.
Yeah,
they're going to want to start destroying the petrol cars at some point, because they're going to want to make space for it.
It's going to be bloody sad, but
it is.
But it's like, do you know what they do with the batteries once they like fuck out?
I know what they've done with some of them. I don't know if they're doing it with all of them.
Because it's either Europe or China where there's like a massive field over like for like 100 to 500 cars, electric cars, just sitting there.
Yeah.
They have no place in the world, because each individual one has their battery cooked, and each individual one requires $30,000 worth of battery repair.
And there's just heaps of pollution right
there. But then it's like you can't get rid of them.
Well,
because
actually,
it's just gonna like kill everything. But
SpaceX has done something with that.
Oh, really?
Because they're obviously in ties with Tesla. Right. They sent a bunch of dead batteries into orbit of Earth. So they sent it into space, but not far enough for it to drift away. They just sent it in so it orbited around Earth until it got pulled closer. Yeah. And once it came into our atmosphere, they burned up into nothing.
Huh.
And
interesting.
I thought that was genius.
It's going to be pretty expensive,
it's just the fuel sending them up there.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's like, well, why do you buy electric cars in the first place? Yeah.
So it's a genius idea, but they've still got emissions coming from it.
Yeah. I personally, I don't think we're there for electric cars. That's why I don't have one yet.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I need a Ute, what am I going to get? you're screwed. If I need a station wagon, what am I going to get? I'm screwed. You can get like this and that SUV, but generally you can't really get them. It's only like
there's a few
that
Tesla
one
SUVs,
Outlander or whatever. But like, you know, I think they just need more like normal cars, electric, I guess.
we need to go further with our like electric car production. We need to have a bigger range. We need to have more of them, and we need to have them more effective and usable and buyer friendly.
But then that's the thing. Did you see the article about Porsche's new Discovery?
No.
It could be bullshit or not. For whatever reason, I didn't click on it. Mm-hmm. But I did see the headline. Porsche has come out with an internal combustion engine that is economical as a Tesla.
Really?
Yeah, and that's insane.
Yeah, that's saying something.
But, you know, it's you know, it's like, I can't afford a Porsche, but it's like, if other manufacturers adopt that,
it could go somewhere.
Are electric cars actually going to be a thing?
It will keep a lot of companies alive.
Yeah, exactly.
So we will no doubt lose companies in the change of going from
especially like American ones, you know, because everyone's like pissed. Especially like Dodge, I reckon, is going to take a plummet because they just love like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Let's chuck a fucking like Hemi in it.
Things like Toyota and Hyundai and they're fine because they're already coming out with hybrids or electric cars.
But like cars that are meant to be like grunting and stuff. It's like, I don't want a fucking electric Charger, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want an electric Challenger. Boom, that company's dead.
Imagine that, we're making no sound at all.
Exactly.
Might as well be pushing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
no, I totally agree.
But, yeah, I don't think we are quite there with electric cars. And I was thinking, like, the past few weeks, especially, like, the past few days, I've been, like, you know, like, the few days before payday, you're like, is my car going to make it to work? But, like, if you run out of gas, you just call AA and they give you, like, 5-10 litres and you can get to the petrol station. But...
Do they? True, I've never had insurance. So, like, I wouldn't know.
No, it's AA, I think. Like, the
roadside assistance
thing.
True, I'm out of it.
Believe they do.
I've always walked to a gas station. I've done that same situation and run out plenty of times.
But, like, well, in saying that, you just walk to the gas station and get, like, a couple of, litres.
Full of fuel.
What happens if you're in, like, a Nissan Leaf or something and you run out of electricity?
You push the car to the nearest electric point.
That's the thing, you know?
Yeah. It's true.
I don't think we're quite there yet.
No.
But it's going to be if this Porsche thing, if it's true, is going to pay out first or before we actually
implement anything. Yeah.
Like actual like real life situations with Teslas and that, you know.
Interesting.
But,
it is very interesting. It'd be good to see where it goes.
Yeah,
it's interesting as much as it's like going to be rough and or could suck or might not. We don't know. I'm actually quite glad I'm around to see this all unfold.
I know.
This is a really big shift in humanity.
I used to like hate electric cars, you know, like that, you know, or everyone
pretty
much. But like, I'm kind of like pissing around with the stock market at the moment, and that's kind of I've got like quite a bit of money in Tesla because I believe they are going to do something like insane. Well, they will.
Yeah.
Because that guy's just stupid. He's an idiot. And he shouldn't be around for how smart he is, you know. He's going to bloody rule the world one day.
Yeah, he's literally this close from running everything.
Exactly. But yeah. That kind of like... I kind of like Tesla now because of that.
I was the same, you know. I was the same. I used to dog on electric cars, and then I actually like acknowledged myself on it.
It's gonna be hard for us to not miss. Well, for us to miss the sound in that.
Yeah.
You know, going through tunnels and all that crap, all and downshifting and flooring it. But like, I'm quite excited to own an electric car. I guess. I
want to see what they can do.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they can do.
I feel really bad about saying that, but I remember the first bunch of Teslas came to New Zealand like years ago, like in 2014 or 15 or something. I went in like the P70D I think it was, which are like the lowest of the low. Holy God. Like that thing's quick.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, whoa, and the lady was like, I have the base model. And I was like,
it's just Jesus.
The base model? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, what can, like, the top dogs do? Like,
yeah.
God.
That's it. They're not slow. They're not underpowered.
Yeah.
They are not underpowered.
Yeah.
So, like, as I said, I used to dog on them heaps until I knowledged myself on it, looked into them a lot, and actually, like, opened my eyes to them. And as much as it's...
Well, with the Cybertruck, that earned my respect. I don't care what you make, what sort of cars you make. If you can do, hey, watch this, make the ugliest dog in the world, and it was sell... I love that company forever.
Yeah.
It's like the Holden GTSR, like the old 93 one.
Yep.
They're like, we can make the frickin' mutt car and it'll sell like crazy, and it fucking did.
Yeah. Well, that was like when
I love that.
When Elon made the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Not a flamethrower, and fucking literally told people, don't buy this. It is not a good idea.
Yeah.
And he sold all of them in like fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's the Cybertruck. He's just like, well, why do utes have to look like this?
Yeah.
What? How many deposits does he have? Can't remember, but it was like 1 million or something stupid like that.
Deposits?
Yeah, for the Cybertruck.
Oh, I'm actually not sure. Sorry.
I can't remember, but it's like a stupid amount of deposits. $100 a deposit. That's like $100 million.
Yeah, people jumped on it.
And he hasn't even started making them yet.
Yeah, that's it. They're not even out.
You know what I mean? Like that's like you know what, like, you know, manufacturers make with like one model over the years, but like $100 million for not even producing one car yet. We made that like one prototype, but you know,
it's real interesting. Something I've found with Teslas is that, like, it seems that people like us are the only ones that are really interested in what these cars can do.
Yeah.
Because like, I know, like, in my job, I come across a lot of people, a lot of rich people, and a lot of like people in retirement homes, old people that have Teslas, they're brand new, and I get there and I'm like, my God, what do you think of the car? I want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's just a car I used to go uptown. And I'm like, why did you buy it? Like, a safe new car.
Okay.
Do you realise you can do 0 to 100 in 1.8 seconds? No, I don't. I've never been on the motorway. Are you kidding me?
What are you doing?
Yeah, like...
Yeah. Well, I had one at work the other day, and the guy went, it was like a mess of a car on the outside. He brought it from the one dealership in Auckland, drove it all the way down, and got us to clean it. And the thing was so cool, you know. It's like you locked it, then you know, as they do automatically, then you're like, go right next to it and like touch it, you know, to like clean it. Then the screen says recording. It's recording your ass when you're like next to it.
Yeah, it takes photos of you if you get close. Yeah. It's insane.
And like, but then you unlock it and it stops recording and it deletes the video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that's
it's
pretty
insane.
Cool.
But make sure that no one's like gonna take it. It's incredible. And
wow.
Like if they're broken into, I don't know if it works in this country, but I believe like in the States and stuff, like it contacts the police and that.
Yeah.
Once it knows it's been stolen.
They
can't roll.
Really cool.
Another cool feature, they can't roll. They've got such a low center of gravity. They literally, it is impossible for them to roll. Well, because all the
I guess that's just electric cars generally, I guess.
Store at a low center of gravity.
Because they're all the low center of gravity, so it's like,
It was real cool watching the video of that, where they like threw it they literally threw the car sideways into a sand pit, so as soon as the wheels hit the ground, it just dug in, had no time to slide, just dug in and it just came up, and then flopped back down.
That's pretty cool.
The amount of force they threw at it, any car would have rolled like 15 times.
Unprofessional they are as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen on TikTok, like, God, Elon is such a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this guy like implemented like whoopee cushions on the seat, so it's like the dad like sat in the seat and it's like wah, you know, and it's like just little crap like that makes me want to buy a car no matter what it is, you know. No one.
He's got so many little cool features in the car like that.
Yeah, have you seen the Wizards of Winter thing with the Tesla Model X?
No.
It's like you push like this and that button, then it like plays a song, but like the headlights and like the indicators and everything like that kind of like flash in the song beat. And like then when like the chorus goes, like the like doors go up and like flap like a bird, and it's like
Yeah, well, I've heard him
That's
say.
useless.
I've heard him say
But
a few
I
times
love
that
it, you know?
that the car can dance. He's like,
Yeah.
he's got a
Well,
feature
that's
where it can
it,
dance.
yeah.
That's insane.
It's
and it's
just
got like the cheetah stance where it like gets down and like
Yeah.
like, ready to pounce like a cheetah.
It's like, why do you do that? Like, nobody
for
cares,
fun.
but like, he does it.
The
And
part I
love that.
The part I love the most is that you can download the upgrade.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
for
just about to say,
$1,200,
yeah.
you can press a button on the screen. The engine's
Yeah,
already capable of doing
exactly.
that power, but he was like, you know what? I'm gonna tone it down and
Well, it's like all
charge you
these like
$1,200.
Barras and Jay-Z's and stuff. It's like, yeah, I got your bigger turbo.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Oh, I just have to wait 3 weeks for it to actually get here.
Yeah.
And then another couple of weeks for
Yeah.
it to actually get, boop, you know.
Yeah, downloading now,
like,
installing.
yeah. I think that's fucking insane.
I love it. I love it.
But then I guess that's like the whole like ruling the world thing. Like if he can do stuff like that, like what else can he do?
Yeah,
You know?
well, that's it. Because he's got the tunnels under LA. He's controlling transport. He's got SpaceX. He's controlling he's leading in the space race at the moment. He's got his telecommunications with SpaceX. He's controlling internet and telephone services.
Screwed up, eh?
He's got he's the biggest electric car company in the world, currently producing like cars, SUVs, utes, and trucks.
Yeah,
right. He's
exactly.
now getting ready, as Kerry was telling me, getting ready to do like the battery wall in homes. So like you just have batteries in your wall, connect to solar panels, so you always have power to charge without using fossil fuel energy. Like he's literally this close to running the entire world.
Yeah.
It is scary.
But then what would be cool in a few years, once everyone does that, you can just turn them off and go, fuck you, see it.
Yeah.
And we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Just because of this one guy.
Jumps in a ship and blasts away.
It's like, yeah. it's... I think I'm going to see that in my lifetime, just like him ruling the world, I guess.
Well, we're going to outlive him, so we're going to see his whole life ahead of him.
I'm freaking excited,
I'm excited to see where he takes it. I really am.
But that I think, like, that's the new car enthusiast thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, that Sylvia's sick, but it's like just stuff like that, you know?
Yeah,
and even people, pretty sure it's you guys who was talking about it, even like people are starting to like spruce up Teslas and stuff. Even
and
like
they're looking good.
It's pretty big in America as well.
Yep.
But I have seen that black one, and you're like, whoa, that's so cool.
Some of them are nice. Some of them are real nice. I see a lot over in the Wairarapa, and there's a couple of them that have been wrapped in like some nice colours.
Yeah.
And they actually just even that just looks good. And then put them on some wheels. They already have bags. Like it looks good.
What I quite like about Tesla, especially like the first bit of the Model S, how they still had a grille, so they look normal. Because it's like before Tesla, you had like the i3s, the Beamers, then you had like the Leafs, and it's like, but why do they look different? That's why I didn't like electric cars, is because they look different, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
you know?
They looked too different.
Yeah.
They didn't look right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess it's like the whole like we're not used to it thing, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like Teslas somewhat look normal.
Yeah, well that's
You know?
it. I remember like I was the same. I didn't like any of the new electric cars. I thought they
Yeah.
looked like rubbish. And then the Tesla came out, and I kind of just brushed over it.
Yeah.
I like vividly remember just brushing over the car, like not caring about it, because I just knew it was the latest electric car. It was just going to be just like the other ones. And so I never actually looked into it until I looked into it. And now when I see them, like I was following one over the hill back today, and it's just like, this is genuinely cool to see. The guy drove like shit. He went so slow around the corners. But as soon as we hit a straight, he was gone. Like it took nothing, and
Just
the car
like that,
just
you know?
moved. It was so impressive to see. So impressive.
I think they're pretty bloody impressive.
That's
My
what's
dad's
coming.
excited for his Cybertruck. He keeps on talking about it. Every time I get a new car, and he's like, yeah, but like my Cybertruck though. And I'm like, fuck, I get it, man. Like I can't afford that. But
I can't wait to see them. It's gonna be so interesting to see the Cybertrucks around.
Yeah, I think that there was a new Tesla coming out as well. That was 20 grand, brand new.
It's pretty good. That's cheaper than a Leaf, second hand.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
but then I guess that would be like, 28. I assume that would be USD. So like, let's just say like 28 grand for like a brand new Tesla, and still that's pretty decent.
That is decent.
But then won't the government give you like 8 grand back or something?
Yeah, it's you. They'll give you 3.
Yeah.
People-
well, even
people
still,
with
that's
petrol
like
get taxed
25
8.
grand for a brand new Tesla.
Yeah, it's pretty
And,
good.
Like for the price people are paying for like, you know, Skylines and Sylvias and all that. Like, we can afford it.
Yeah,
you know,
it won't take much for people to like. It won't be people like me or you that will probably buy them brand new, but there'll be a lot of people that will buy them at that price, and that straight away will devalue them instantly.
Absolutely, yeah.
It'll be heaps out in the wild, and it won't take long before we'll start seeing them on Trade Me.
Yeah,
and we'll be seeing them for 18k, 17k.
Yeah, just see them.
And now they're at a reasonable price.
Down, yeah,
you know, and it'll take a little while, and then it will take like 20 years, and they'll go back up again.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I reckon like. I reckon I will own one of those, like, fairly soon, you know?
Yeah.
And just have, like, my Falcons as just, like, let's just go to work in that for, you know, every now and again. Because, like, fuck, it's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cars are not cheap.
Yeah.
Not a cheap hobby.
Yeah, because I haven't, like, dailied a car in, like, 9 months, and it's, like, it's kicking me.
Yeah.
Like, ow. Yeah. Yeah. It's not fun, but I don't really regret it. I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, no. The work's paid off. Like, I haven't done anything major on cars in, like, the past 2 years. I've been real lazy for the past 2 years of my life. But prior to that, like, when I was working on the ute, I built that in my driveway on Ferguson Drive.
Yeah.
And every day I had parts showing up, I was going ham on it. I was out there every moment.
Well, that's what I'm scared about electric cars. You can't just, like, sit in the driveway and do an oil change because you have like a day off, and it's like you can't like do anything with it, or you can wash it, but it's like, what if you washed it like 2 days ago?
Can you wash it so many times?
I'm not excited about, because it's like as a connection with my car, I kind of need to do all the work to it.
Yes.
And I prefer that as well, just so I can like know what's been done, what's going into the engine, or like, you know, but I guess like oil and that, but but I quite like doing stuff myself. But with like Teslas and that, if like, you know, something fucks out in the battery, it's just like, just you do it. But I'm not looking forward to it in that perspective.
Yeah.
No,
definitely.
Because there's like no moving parts, so you can't like, you know.
Yeah, no, I miss that. Like with the ute, there's so many things you can do legally to a ute. Yeah. Because it's just anything from the doors back pretty much is free range. It's
exactly. Yeah.
So I went ham on that ute and did everything I could. There's like not a part on there I haven't touched. But I know I just won't be able to do that again with many other cars in my life.
That's why I'm kind of just fucking around at the moment, just while I can. Yeah.
Get it in while you can. Have fun while
I'm
you
just
can.
I'm looking at buying another Triumph, but it's like I don't have the place for it. But it's like I'm looking for the place for it, but there's like not a place for it. But then it's like, because Wellington, you can't do shit to your car. You can barely wash it because it's parked on the road. But even then, I don't really like parking it on the road. But then but I kind of just want to like strip something to the bare shell, just build it back up like I wanted to my first Triumph, but just didn't do it, unfortunately. But but there's unfortunately going to be a time where you can't. What do you mean working on your own car, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't let anyone touch my cars.
Nah, neither.
I've only ever taken the ute to one place before, and that was to get the exhaust chopped and re-welded, and they fucked that up.
Yeah, exactly.
And overcharged me, and I was not happy.
Well, I'm electrical I'm not doing at all. But like, all you do is just like get your mate to do a perky and blah blah blah, boom. You know.
I'm good with electrical on 90s cars.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I've redone whole rooms before. I got
I
real good at that as a kid, because as a kid, like, as you know, my mind works 100 miles an hour, and I'm like always thinking about things. So as a kid, like wiring things up fascinated the hell out of me. I started as like the age of 7 wiring up bulbs to batteries. And so like I was always fascinated. But I've gotten pretty good with electrical stuff with cars. I just hate it when there's an electrical issue because you can't find it easily.
Yeah, exactly.
And that bugs the hell out of me. If I knew what it was, I couldn't fix it easily.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hate trying to work it out when I can't.
Well, there's like very minimal things that I won't do to my own car, which is like major rust repair, and I'm not a big fan of that. But and my typical Australian bloody built sedan, my driver's window doesn't go up no more.
Yeah.
And it's like we had like a real quiet day, and I had like my toolbox in my car, and I was like, let's just rip it apart and see what's wrong. No, I'm not doing that. Like, no, just like the bit that I can't figure out how to disconnect the regulator to like the metal arm thing that actually goes to the window uppy downy thing.
Yeah, and there's a motor from that.
Yeah,
you normally can't.
Yeah.
Normally you have to take it out all in one piece.
Yes.
So normally the arm and the regulator
really
and all the wires and stuff.
So I don't know how to like remove that arm from the window though.
So there'll be a point where you have to have the window at a certain height to be able to access the screws that hold the clamp to the window. And once you get them off, you unbolt the there'll be like the arm and the regulator, and then there'll be like a couple of wires that will go around it somewhere. There'll be like 3 or 4 bolts that will hold all that to the door. You undo that, and there'll be one hole
I've taken
in the door.
I know how to take the regulator. I like did that part, but it's just the arm. But yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you can lift the window to the right point, you should be able to access those screws. Should be able to. Most cars were like that anyway. If they're from the 90s.
Sweet. Yeah.
Give that a go. It's not as difficult.
Yeah.
I've done far too much work on cars.
Yeah.
Far too much. I've been lazy for the past 2 years, but it's been good.
My 70s cars, and they just don't even have that. That's
even
calm
simpler.
down, Mr. Rolls Royce, just one electric window. But
yeah.
But I can, like, pull those apart, and I know everything about, like, those, but yeah, I'm kind of just getting used to, like, the 90s and early 2000s cars now, but even then it's like, what the hell, but yeah.
Yep. I started working on engines from the age of 10. My old man brought me my first motorbike for Christmas and got me to pull it apart and put it back together before I rode it. So I
and you really want to ride it, huh?
Yeah, and he was like, I've got all the tools. If you need a hand, let me know, but good luck. Yeah. So I just had to work it out pretty much, and I did. And by the end of the day, I was riding a bike.
That's what like, the biggest thing that I learned with my Triumph is, like, that wasn't my main car. And I think that was the biggest plus point of it. Because it's like, I wanted to touch every single bolt in that car and redo it all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to take the subframe out. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. Everyone will be like, subframe, man. But then you look under it and you're like, okay, that's bolted by that.
Yeah.
So you have to undo that. But then that comes there. Then you boom, the
just work
subframe
it out.
down. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. Just like that.
I removed the rear subframe off my car. Like,
now
that's
you know
pretty
how to put
impressive.
it back on.
Exactly, And it's just like, that's how I learn. It's just from actually, like, doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I've learned over the years, and then helped from other people when I've needed it. But that's all I did when I brought the Ute. I knew nothing about a diesel. Like I said, I brought it on a joke. I didn't even want the Ute. I brought it because I said I was going to, laughingly, and then he hit me up about it, and I thought, fuck, I best buy it.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about diesels, and now, like I said, there's not the brakes is the only thing I haven't touched on that entire Ute because I've never fucked out. Other than that, I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing that I like about my Triumph is like quite a bit of it was pretty messed up, like in one way or another.
Yep.
Or I wanted to like rebuild the engine or whatever, So it's like the cool thing about my course is like they had like a thing where they're like, well, if we're doing brakes and your brakes are fucked, take your car in and we'll do it. You just pay for the parts.
Yeah.
Saves us like trying to find a car with screwed up brakes
or
like
idea.
rebuild. Yeah.
That's a real good idea.
And I was like, well, my Triumph doesn't stop. You have to have like 20,000 kilometers notice.
Yep.
Then I can stop. And so they this is what you do. Just take a picture first and take a picture after. If they match, boom, you've done it.
Yep.
And we're like, fuck yeah. So took a photo, just pulled this spring out and just did that.
Yep.
Oh wow, cool. The brake shoe's off. Cool. Put the other one in. Reverse it, and hit the rewind button, and boom, you've done your brakes, and you're like, I know how to do brakes now, It's just by doing it.
I know. I remember my first time doing brake shoes on drum brakes.
Yeah.
And like, I remember everyone being like, "Oh, it's such a complicated thing to do."
It's not, though.
Nah, it's not. Literally, all you do, take a photo first. You cannot go wrong because you can see where everything goes. Just
exactly.
put it all back the same way.
Yeah. Well, that's like the biggest thing that my course learned me is just take photos. And well,
it's easy enough to do these days.
Yeah, exactly. Our day and age, it was like, well, it's like a maths teacher. You're like, you're not always gonna have a phone on you. You need a calculator. And I was like, well, when am I gonna carry a bloody calculator when I don't have a phone, you know?
Yeah. Well, always gonna have a fucking phone.
Exactly. If you don't if you have your phone handy, you may as well just make the most of it, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't fall over and break your leg, then you're like, oh fuck, I got my cell phone, but let's find one of those pay phones, you know? You know, it doesn't make sense. But I guess they kind of were brought up without phones.
And didn't predict that it was going to get like this.
Exactly.
Even though we all saw that it was going to.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
because I remember when the iPhone 3 came out.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Wow, that's fucking cool," you know. And he's a technology nut, so he brought one. But then, and he's like, "These things are incredible.
Yeah,
and these things are gonna fucking explode." And now look at them.
Yep.
You know, Apple's probably one of the top, most biggest company in the world, I guess.
Yep.
As long as
their next phone's display is meant to outdo Samsung's. Ironically, using Samsung's screens.
Yeah.
That it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been iPhone my whole life, but I've got a Samsung now. You know, it's the whole Holden and Ford dilemma. I was only Holdens, and I brought a fucking Falcon as a joke.
Yeah.
And they blew me away, and I was like, well, screw being only stitched up with one company, you know.
Yeah, who cares?
And the guy at Vodafone was kind of like, get this phone, and I was like, I want an iPhone. And he's like, no, you should get this phone. I was like, oh, shut up, I'll buy the bloody phone then. And just I haven't, you know. It's got things that I complain about. It's quite glitchy for how new it is and how much I paid, but whatever. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, all phones.
iPhones got problems as well. You know?
Exactly. Mine's fairly new and it has problems.
Yeah, exactly.
All phones do.
My biggest wow is how strong that bloody screen is. I've made it a rule that I'm not taking my screen protector off, no matter how cracked it is, unless I have $10 to go get a new one, and I will.
Yeah.
And it's I've been real slack, and I haven't had one for a year, and it's I've had those instances where it's that's my screen gone. Pick it up. Wow.
Fine. Yeah.
I'm
the same. I've gotten to the point now, I've had this case on there for a while and a screen protector as well, and I know that the screen itself is really good. But I've gotten to the point where I drop it almost daily, and all I do is pick it back up and put it in my pocket. I don't even check to see if it's okay because I know it's going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's gotten to an insane point.
Wow. I remember this one time in Stagland's toilets, it just went BAM! Real hard. I felt it. And I'm like, oh, this is a really poor week, I'm broke as fuck this week.
Yeah.
I can't afford a new screen, and I hate cracked screens. Looked it up, and it was like, how?
That's impressive.
And it's always at work, I'm in my bloody hoodie, and my phone's getting thrown out while I get out of this bloody ute or whatever. And it's
mine's
just
always getting out the van.
And it's whoa,
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's very impressive, and I haven't had that with an iPhone. I don't think.
I've never had it up until this one.
Yeah.
All my phones have been destroyed. Absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
But this one has been really good.
I remember my last phone was an iPhone 7. It was a funny story. I was getting my Beamer prepped for Hard Park. And on Snapchat how it goes blah 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 is typing. So I got that notification. Then and I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I picked it up. Then I was like, oh yeah, they're taking ages. So I put it in the sill of the boot, in that boot jam.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, yucks my wheels in the boot. Close the boot, and I heard the, and I was like, where's my phone?
Oh no.
And I picked it up, and it was fucked. And I was like, it's just a screen, And it's I was doing photography hard out back then, and it's I kind of need my phone in that. And I was like, fuck, I've got 3 days, and it's I have no money, I can't afford a new phone, And that's when I got my Samsung, and I was like, holy shit, the first day that I got it, I didn't even charge it, the first night of Hard Park, I was going all the way with music, so that takes a fair bit of battery. I was on my camera all day, it wasn't even off once, taking photos, and you're with, I don't know if it's the same with Samsung, But like with Apple, like the camera kills your battery. You know, like it, uses up so much.
Yeah.
So all day. Then what did we do at night? A few years ago, we like did that cruise to Kapiti or something.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, like, we did skids and stuff in Kapiti, but then like that was the end of it. But then some other people were racing to Alexander, and I was like, "Oh, we're coming!" And I like looked at my phone, and it was still 40%. And it was at like 10:30 at least,
that's
and I was
good.
like, I would have had to charge my phone like 16 times by now. Like,
good.
That's really good, you know?
Yeah, they've gotten pretty good. Like, my one's... I've had this for just over a year, and the battery hasn't, like, decreased on me at all.
Yeah.
And I've got mine playing music through the work van all day, and when I'm not in the work van, it's blasting music through my ears or podcasts. And then it's also running, like, GPS maps when I'm driving the van all day, and it will last me a whole day. I'll get home and it will be low on battery.
Yeah.
You know, but it's, like, consistently being used the whole day.
Exactly. It's pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
With my car cleaning, I have the torch on all the time, and it still makes it home.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, they're coming a long way.
Yeah,
sure
definitely.
I'm going to have to wrap that up there because we are minutes away from that dying.
Yeah.
We're actually like... Yeah, exactly an hour 30 into it now.
Wow.
So that went by really quick.
Yeah.
That was cool. So cheers for being on.
Yeah,
Do you have any socials you run or anything that you want to like shout out or anything you want to shout out while you're on? Not that many people watch, but
yeah,
a few people in the car scene watch.
My Facebook page that I run with a few mates, Falcon Round 3.
I wondered if that was you.
Yep.
Crack up.
No, he was on my group chat like ages ago, and I was like, oh, it's only like that. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, like Falcon Round 3's here. Oh my god. But then it was only like it was only like a profile, not a page, and I was like, oh. But then he was like, do you want to be added? And I was like, yeah. You know, and just never been kicked out for being shit, so I'm happy. And that was like a year ago now, so
I'll shout out around.
Yeah.
Falcon Round 3. Mean. Alright, well follow our socials too. At and on something else, Instagram, TikTok. And I believe that is everything.
Cool.
Mean. Alright, well until the next one.
Yeah.
Be good. If not, be good at it. And catch y'all next time.
Cool.